Today's Thursday. It's the last day that we are going to be working on the division independent study, and today we're doing decimals by decimals. Alright, so first question here, to quickly review from yesterday, says which of the following stores offers the best deal? And it has a list of 3 stores, Target, Walmart, and Food Lion, with the prices and the number of ounces that it's selling. First thing I'm thinking is when I see best deal, I know I'm looking for the cheapest amount per ounce. So really, I have to take each of these 3 and find out how much it costs per ounce. So I'll model Target, and then you'll do Walmart and Food Lion on your own. So I know Target is $7.26 for 6 ounces, and I want to know how much it costs per 1 ounce. Well, I know from our work with ratios that I have to make equivalent fractions here. So 6 divided by 6 gives me 1. So I'm going to have to do 7.26 divided by 6 to get my answer. So 7.26 divided by 6. Now yesterday on the video you saw that I wrote a lot of my my multiples out to the side. But I know my 6's pretty well, so I'm not going to take the time to do that here. So if I have 7 that I have to split with 6 people, I know everybody can get 1 item. Remember, up here is where you keep track of how many groups of 6 you can give out. So 1 times 6 is 6. I subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. I bring down my 2. If I have 12 to give to 6 people, well, I know that 6 times 2 is 12. I subtract. I bring down my last 6. And 6 can go into 6 1 time. And so I know that at Target it is $1.21 per ounce. Your job is to figure out how much it costs at Walmart and Food Lion per ounce. Pause the tape and do it now. Okay, so for each of the other stores, Walmart and Food Lion, you should have set up a ticket, money over ounces. And when you worked it out, here's what it comes out to. We just found that Target was $1.21 per ounce. Walmart was 0.96 or 96 cents per ounce, and Food Lion was $1.16 per ounce. So the cheapest was I can't spell, it says Walmart at 96 cents per ounce. All right, so the problems we just did, we were dividing a decimal by a whole number. The same thing with everything we worked on yesterday. It was a decimal divided by a whole number. It was a decimal divided by a whole number. Today is going to be a little bit different, and there's just a slight adjustment you need to make. When you're doing a decimal divided by a decimal, before we get started here, we have to move this decimal place on the outside over 1. Which means we have to move this decimal place over 1. So the problem we're actually going to solve here is 12 divided by 648 decimal, and I'm going to add zeros just in case I need them. So I'm going to erase this. Go ahead and pause the tape and get this into your notes. Alright, so on this one, unlike the warm-up, I actually went ahead and listed all of my 12s off to the side. I'm just not as comfortable with my 12s as I am with my 6s. So, here's my problem. If I have 6, naturally I can't give it out to 12. If I have 64, I sure can. So I come over to my chart, here we go. And that is 12 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 12 times 5 is going to give me 60. I do my subtraction. I have 4 left over. Oh, this one's going to work out real easy because I already know when I bring this down, 12 is going to go nice and easy into 48, and there it is, 4 times. Gives me 48. I take it away. Put my decimal, and lucky for me, I just have zeros, so 54 is my answer. We're going to try a second one here. And this is 42.50 divided by 1.5. Again, before I get started, I can't divide by a decimal. It's just a rule of math. So really I'm doing 15 going into 425.0. and the division is not going to change. The problem is still going to be done the same way as before. So the first thing I'm going to do off to the side here is I'm absolutely going to list my 15. So 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. And remember, if you're not sure what's next, you can just add 15 to that. So 90. So go 75 and then 90. I'm going to add another 15 and get 105. And you can always add to get there. It's 15 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15 times 7. I'm pretty well ahead of the game here. So now, 4 into 15, no way. 42. Looks like I can only get 2 groups in there because 45 is going to be too many. So I can get 2 groups in, and that's 30. I do some subtraction. 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring this down. Ooh, 125. So I better continue down here. Looks like I didn't go far enough. Let me add another 15. Alright, that's 120. So that's what it's going to be. Let me see how many it takes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups it looks like. 8 groups gives me 120. I'm going to subtract 5, bring my 0 down. Make sure I put my decimal point. Okay, 50. Looks like I can go in 3 times to give me 50. That's 45. Subtract. 5 left over. Bring another 0 down. It's going to give me 50. Well, this is interesting here. When I take a look at this, I see that no matter how many times I do this, I can add as many zeros as I want. Like if I still have 50 to split into 15. I know that's going to be another 3, but watch what happens. 5 left over. I could bring down another 0. 50 can again go in 3 times. If you notice that no matter how many times I do this problem, I'm going to be doing this forever. Like literally for the rest of my life, it would be the exact same. Where it's 50, take away 45, 50, take away 45, 50, take away 45, 50, take away 45. So my answer, and maybe you've seen this before, is going to be 28.33. And you can put a bar over it to show that it repeats. It means it goes on forever and ever and ever. I could keep doing this problem and it would keep giving me the same pattern. So to show that, I put the bar over the 33. Okay, here are 2 problems. Pause the tape and give them a go yourself. Okay, if you weren't sure how to set them up, here it is. So the first one, my 5s. 3 into 5 I can't do. 33 into 5 I can go 6 times. I'm not writing my facts for this one because I know my 5s really well. 3, bring down the 7. 7 times 5 is 35. I have 2 left over. Bring down my 0. 20 can go into 5 4 times. So 674 for the first one. Now, over here, we got some giant numbers we're dealing with here. It's really essentially what we're going to have to do is put 71 into 10,224. So we got to kind of use our head here and do a little bit of estimating. So 102, I'm starting with 72. I know I can only get 1 group in there because if I double it, it's going to be over 140. So I'm going to do this subtraction. And I get if this one's tricky. So that's 30. I bring down my 2. Now I have 302. That's going to be pretty tough. So I'm going to estimate. So I know this is about 70. And I know 7 times 4 is 280. 7 times 5 is 350. So I'm thinking that I'm going to be able to get 4 groups in there. 288. Let me do 72 times 5 and just see where we wind up there. Yeah, that's 360. That's too many. So we can get 4 groups in there. And you're only going to see one problem that's going to require this much work on your Bitly today. Do not skip it when you get there. You got to try to figure that out because really, if you can take the time to figure out a problem that's this difficult, then you can do any of the problems that we got. That leaves us with 14. Okay, we're going to bring down our last place value, which is a 4. Well, this might look promising because I think 72 times 2 is going to get us there and be finished with it. It is 44. 144, and that finishes our problem off. So 142. Look, I get that today is a little bit trickier than the other ones. Take your time with it. The work for today is right here, bit.ly/ISMD4. All of them will be pretty easy, except for one or two you're really going to have to take your time with.